Greetings, everyone. I am Danielle Hamlet, an efficiency consultant with Baylet Consulting, where we help individuals and businesses with less than 40 employees become more productive and efficient through waste reduction. And waste can mean different things to different people. And in one area of our lives, we tend to waste a priceless resource, our time. Our time can be consumed very easily in the barrage of emails we get daily. Many of us can fall victim to checking our email every time one comes in our inbox. Whether there's an audible noise to notify us of a new email, or if we have our email opened in the background while we're working, or even if it's open on like a secondary computer screen. Always knowing and even seeing when emails come in can hinder productivity. Today, we will be discussing the concept of inbox zero, that is aspiring to have 0 emails in your inbox at the end of each day. We will talk about the inbox zero challenge that Baylet Consulting conducted and the benefits of keeping up with email. We will also discuss some success tips when checking your email. So, what is inbox zero? Again, inbox zero is a concept of having 0 emails in your email inbox. I mean, this sounds great, right? Yeah, I know it does to me. But what is the likelihood that this is possible? With all the emails that come in daily, it seems impossible to keep up. Some folks stop trying altogether and watch their emails skyrocket to thousands or even hundreds of thousands of emails. Helplessly, these people wonder, what did I miss? How will I ever catch up? Some are even overwhelmed just by the thought of their email. This type of overwhelm can cause a person to never check their email and could lead to missed opportunities, a delayed in client response, or even a failure to respond to a customer or client all together. In today's world, email becomes more important and a necessary part of a business's follow-up system, or even an individual's follow-up system. Being able to handle email communication is really key to effective and consistent communication with customers, clients, families, and friends. So let's move to talking about the Aspiring for Inbox Zero challenge that began in January of 2020. This Aspiring for Inbox Zero challenge was offered by Baylet Consulting, where participants were asked to first record their emails in their primary email inbox on January 1st. After recording the number of emails, the participants were then given instructions on how to clean out their inbox without deleting their email. Many people report anxiety when they think of deleting their email because they may miss something. The process that was created for these participants was designed to clear out their inbox without deleting. So if it was really needed, these emails can be referenced at a later time. After clearing out the primary email inbox, as instructed, the participants had 0 emails in their inbox. The process of clearing out the emails included tips and tricks on how to go through their emails daily and weekly to maximize inbox zero success. For instance, check your email fully only 2 to 3 times a day and act on each email as it is opened. Each week on Friday, during the last designated email time, the participant recorded how many emails were left in their primary inbox. Tracking sheets were provided monthly at the beginning of each month, and at the end of each month, participants would email back their tracking sheet. So, here are the results of the Aspiring for Inbox Zero 2020 challenge. This challenge started with 11 participants and had steady reporting from 7 participants in the first 6 months of 2020. On average, the participants had 5,813 emails in their inbox at the beginning of the challenge. The participant with the most emails had 35,640 emails, and the participant on the lower end had 5. During the tracking process, it was apparent that there were good and not so good weeks as far as email goes. During the designated email times, the participants were to either file the email into a folder or delete it as appropriate. When participants went on vacation, there was an uptick in emails in their inbox, which is to be expected. But using the tips and the process of the Aspiring Inbox Zero challenge, they bounced back easily and decreased the amount of emails after they returned from their vacation. By the end of March of this challenge, participants were averaging 100 emails in their inboxes, which is a decrease on average of 98% overall. By June, the average number of emails in the participants' inbox went up to 225.5. However, there was one participant with a huge number of emails that massively skewed this data. But when we include this participant that had the much higher email count than the rest, there is still a 96% increase, or excuse me, a 96% decrease in emails in their inboxes from January to June of 2020. If we remove that person, the average email drops to 48.6 emails, which is an average decrease of 99.16%. So the participants would decrease 99.16% of their emails in their inbox within that first 6 months. During this time, we also had the participants record how many times they referenced the emails that they created files for in the beginning of the challenge. Participants were instructed to create a folder for the previous 6 months of their emails, which would date back then. It was December of 2019 to June of 2019. This folder was referenced on average by 27% of the attendees in January of 2020. And by March, only 43% of the participants referenced the folder containing that last 6 months of emails from 2019. And by June, only 14% of the participants referenced the saved emails from the last 6 months of 2019. Another folder that we tracked was a May 2019 folder and back. May 2019 and back folder, right? So this is where we put everything in our email, from our email inbox that was dated May 2019 and back into this folder. Only 29% of the participants referenced this folder in January. By March, no participants referenced the May 2019 and back folder. And in June, one participant looked back only one time to see if there was an email that they needed. After June of 2020, there's no documentation of participants referencing either one of these folders, either the December to June 2019 email folder or the May 2019 and back folder. The challenge allowed us to see how having a process can help alleviate some of the stress of the surrounding emails. And to me, this data looks like that past a year, we don't really need any of these emails. We're not going to go back and look for them. We probably don't even know that they're there. So before we continue, a good tip for right now would be, if the email was in 2019 and back as of today is November of 2020, go ahead and just delete those. You don't need them. They were over a year ago and beyond. So go ahead and do that. That's a little extra tip for you today. So throughout the program, different participants would comment on how helpful it was to have guidance on setting up their email and a process to actually effectively check their email more effectively than the scan and go. Some of the participants even commented that the accountability of the tracking sheet helped them focus on addressing the emails one at a time and getting them cleared out of their email, whether they deleted their email, filed it, or whatever was appropriate for that email. So let's go into some of the benefits of keeping up with our email. First, obviously, would be an empty your email inbox, right? An empty your inbox. When a process is utilized to start fresh, the anxiety and stress of seeing thousands, or like for one of our participants, over 35,000 emails, the feeling of missing something decreases as a result of actually being able to see and handle the emails during a designated time frame. Another benefit is an increased response to requests from your clients, customers, or family. And that overall improved communication. You got increased response, overall improved communication. When there are less emails daily, it becomes easier to catch and handle things closer to the time that the email was originally received. When you have more control over your inbox, you can identify and handle truly urgent things promptly, as well as recognize tasks that may need to be scheduled and completed. A great benefit of keeping up with your email is a potential of an increase in productivity. So when we know how and when to handle our emails, we can get productive work done because we're not worried about what's going on in that email. We know that there's a time to handle those emails so we can get to work and be productive. When we start checking our emails like in the beginning of the day and we get lost and 2 hours later, we have no productive work done, this is a hindrance on that productivity. So being able to keep up with your email can potentially increase that productivity because you know what you're doing and you know you're not worried about what's going on inside that email. So let's talk about some success tips when it comes to checking our email. And we've said it once and we'll do it again. Schedule only 2 to 3 times a day where you check your email. These could be 30-minute slots, depending on your occupation. But as soon as you get these caught up, it's really easy to stay caught up within that 30 minutes. So instead of looking at it every few minutes, schedule time in your day where you know you're going to sit and you're going to look through your email. And the next tip is to commit to taking an action on each email as you open it. Avoid the scan and go. The scan and go is one of the ways that our email inboxes get out of control. If you feel, however, that you need to scan and go your email outside of your scheduled email checking times, the next tip will help you. Define a priority protocol. The priority protocol that I use and recommend for my clients is revenue and reputation, which means if you see an email that negatively affects you, a customer, or a client, negatively affects their reputation or their revenue, stop everything and address the email. Otherwise, wait to respond to your emails until your next scheduled email checking time. So this is just a really good way to wean off the checking your email every 5 minutes. If you must scan and go, use a priority protocol. Revenue reputation is good to decide which emails need to be handled right then. Sometimes we get a ton of marketing emails. So you can use that search button to batch delete these emails. And if you don't want the correspondence from this person or the company, be sure to click unsubscribe to at least one of their emails before deleting them in batches. The last success tip when it comes to our emails is avoid complicated folder systems. Sometimes creating a complicated folder systems is just as much of a waste of time as getting lost in your email for the first 2 hours of the day. Instead, create general folders, as it's often easier and more effective to click on a general folder like Work 2020 or Clients 2020 and use the search function to find your specific email. So out of the Inbox 00 or Inbox 0 2020 challenge, it's a lot of words. A new email series has been created with all the tips and processes that we learned during the last year. The email series is called, the new series is called Control Inbox Increased Response. It is a 10-week email series walking you through how to take back control of your email inbox, and you can sign up for this program at baylitconsulting.com.